All right, people. Live, uncut, unedited. Live, uncut, unedited, people. Live, uncut, unedited. You already know what it is. This is the Crime Chase. I'm live, and I'm uncut, and I'm unedited. Come on in, come on in. I need y'all to share it on your page. Share it on your page before we get started. I need this to be shared on your page. Share it on your page. I'm going to share it on my page. Live, uncut, unedited, people. 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6:01. Let's get it going. This is live, uncut, unedited, people. This is going to be a great discussion tonight. It's going to be a lot of truth told. And hopefully we can keep it within an hour or two. And that would be great for me. Live, uncut, unedited, people. Where y'all at? Where you at? Come on in. Come on in. This is live, uncut. Let me get it on. I'm trying to get it shared in my groups. I need y'all to share. What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, people? This is live, uncut, unedited. Live, uncut, unedited. I need y'all to share on your page. We need at least 150, 200 people for this discussion. Now, this discussion is open up to whites and blacks, Latinos, Spanish, whatever nationality you are, so we're not being biased on none of that. We want everybody to come on in this alive and talk. We want everybody to come on in. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, people. I love Chicago. Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. This is live, uncut. I need y'all to share it on the page. We got the football game going, but that's all right. This food for thought. That's right. Y'all gonna get a chance to explain yourself. We're gonna try to keep it within an hour, 2 hours. And that's what we're gonna try to do, people. This is live, uncut, unedited. But I got a couple of questions to ask. So I'm not going to let you guys off the hook. I got a couple of questions to ask you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. It's live, uncut, unedited. And I want y'all to be in y'all emotions. Come on here with some facts now. Don't come on here with no just talking because you feel like a certain way. Come on here and let's talk about some facts. Make sure my phone is on with some facts. That's what we need. This is live, uncut, unedited. I need y'all to share it in your groups. Share it. We need at least about 150 people, though. We definitely need that. This is a great topic. So if I can get 50 people to share this video, that would be nice. 50 people. 50 people. Let that be one of you guys. We're going to keep it real. This is live, uncut, unedited. Somebody said, who is Kim? Who is Anita? One is a former state's attorney, and one is the state's attorney. So it's live, uncut, unedited, people. We finna do it. We finna do it. We finna do it. All right. All right. We finna do it. We got 100 people. Oh, we need more people than that now. Come on now, people. We need more people than that. Derek Lee to Wade Washington, huh? All right. Let me share it on my other page, and I think I should be ready. We need way more people than this. I gave y'all a heads up now. Okay. Let me find this, okay. All right. Tune in, people. Tune in. This going to be a good one here. All right, people, I got 21 shares. I need more shares than that, people. At least 50 shares. 50 shares now. Let me see how many shares I have. We got 93 people on here. Let me see how many shares I have so far. Okay, we got 21 shares, people. I need 50 shares on this page. Share it. Share it in your groups. This is live, uncut, unedited. Share it in your group. Share it in your group. Share it in his group. Share it in your group. All right, somebody's starting off early. Live, uncut, unedited. Hello? Hello? Can't hear you. I thought so. That's what I thought so. Better not get on here with that mess. You know, we ain't going with that. Live, uncut, unedited, people. I see you, Dr. Sanders. Oh, somebody said, some black folks hate Miss Kim Foxx off lies. They don't even know why they hate her. No facts, just lies from white politicians. Oh, that's a good one there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, people, let me push my record button, and I'm about ready now. I got my record button on. It's live, uncut, unedited. And people just, that brother said people hate Kim Foxx. Just off lies from the media. They hate Kim Foxx from the media. All right, people. All right. We might watch a little film. Do anybody out there know what mass incarceration is? All right. All right, I need one person. I need the first person to come on here that disagree with Kim Foxx. That's the first person I need on here. I'm going to open up for you. You could be white, black, Mexican, don't make no difference. Come on in. I prefer you to call so you won't have to be show your face. I prefer you to call. It's live, uncut, unedited. Remember, the number is 872-297-6389. Again, 872-297-6389. This is live, uncut, unedited. Now, who's going to break the ice this evening? I know y'all watching the football game and you're entertaining, but this is real, people. We need to talk. Well, let me tell, somebody came in. Hold on, Brother Kevin. Hold on one second. I want to read this. I'm going to let you in. All right, let me give me a little towel. All right, I want to read a couple of comments real quick. Mass incarceration never worked. We were never safer. That's point one. Number two, majority of people on electronic monitor are compliant. All right, just think about these questions. Number three, the media and reporters push the 10% of the reoffenders that's on home electronic monitor. Never focus on the 90% who are in compliance. Number four, when you are a black elected official, you have to make miracles happen. Why is that? Number five, decade of bad prosecutors led to the city paying over $500 million in wrongful prosecution, if I may say. All right? Now, listen to this, people. Listen to this. I'm going to give you a chance to talk now. Anita. Okay, there goes somebody right now. Hold on. All right, you got to turn that Facebook down. Got to turn it down so you can talk.
Turn that Facebook down for you. How you doing?
I'm blessed. Okay, where you calling from?
I'm calling from Franklin, Tennessee, but I'm a former Chicagoan. Just last year of April, I moved up here.
Okay, Franklin, Tennessee. All right. Now, you know what the...
I love this subject, Martin. You know why?
Okay,
because
tell.
I'm a criminology major.
Okay, well, come on and talk to me. Come and educate me.
Yeah, and I want to educate you because
Okay.
one thing that Kim Foxx is not doing,
Okay.
when it comes down to somewhat of a counterpart
Okay.
of black men and women, you want to do intervention and prevention.
Okay.
Now, in the criminal major, intervention and prevention is what the criminal justice system is built on.
Okay.
It's built on that. But when you get up in there and you come to the black communities, let's really look at it. Let's be honest.
Okay, we're talking about Kim Foxx, right?
I know.
Okay, go ahead.
Do intervention and prevention.
Okay. Well, what they?
Just doing,
I mean, what do they got to do with?
Hold on. This is a crime. Let's lock them up. Well, where's her intervention and prevention? What is she putting within the communities with all this crime?
Okay, can I stop you? Let me, sister. Let me stop you. Let me just stop you. Now, I just read before you call. Listen, this is what I read. What was my point 3? Why when you are a black elected official, you have to make miracles happen? Why is that? Now, my point.
I don't want her to make miracles.
Okay, well, that's what you're saying. Oh, hold on. Well, you know she's a politician now.
What I'm saying is this. When you elect people, especially when it comes down to the criminal field,
okay,
it's intervention and prevention. This is what I want you to pay attention to.
Okay.
First. Intervention and prevention. Anything from drug sales to gun violence to domestic violence. Let me tell you something. They shut it all down. There's no intervention and prevention in the communities.
All right.
Nowhere.
Right, let me ask you a question.
At least not in ours.
All right, well, let me ask you a question. Do you know of any state's attorney did exactly what you just told me? You name me one.
None of them.
Okay.
None of them. I'm telling you, I've been following this.
Okay.
No one has done. Listen, look at it as a people, as an overall whole in Chicago. And that's what we want to look at. Let's start really analyzing and extracting what's really going on. Let's go back. I grew up in Chicago, west side of Chicago. I'm right from the village. Okay. There was intervention and prevention to keep us off the street. There was Boys and Girls Clubs. There was the Duncan YMCA.
Okay, so you saying...
Let me finish. These are intervention. It's in the criminal justice books. I'm telling you this.
Okay.
It's in juvenile justice. It's in criminal justice. All these centers that you saw that was out there is intervention and prevention centers that was once in communities that is no longer there. Okay, can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question. Go ahead.
Is Chicago any safer now than back in the day?
Oh, it was bad. No, it's not safe at all. It was safer back then than it is now.
Why? Well, tell me why. What was safer back then? Tell me why.
Okay. Me coming from low-income housing.
Okay.
Number one, because there was intervention and prevention centers, if it was a two-parent household that had to get out there doing work, there was somewhere for that kid to go instead of staying at home by itself, figuring out a way to entertain their own thoughts. If you check at the crime rate back then, it was a lesser crime rate than you see now.
No. I'm surprised. If you're a criminal justice major, I need. Hold on. Hold on, sister. Hold on. Can you? I can't let you overtalk me now. We got to respect each other. Okay. We got to respect you. Okay. Now let me just say this. This is what I need you to do, and I'm gonna give you a chance to come back on when we get done talking. I need you to Google how many homicides. Okay. How many homicides? Just go to the 90s and the 80s until now and compare it. That's what I need you to do. Homicides, just homicides on.
Talking about homicides.
That's what I want you to do.
Go to the overall.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I want you to look at the numbers. From the 80s all the way up to 2022. What'd you say, 2021? Because we just in 22. That's what I want you to do. And I want you to compare compare those numbers. That's what I want you to do.
I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna help you out real quick.
Okay, that's what I want you to do. But let me say this.
The black population was 61% then, it's 31% now.
Okay.
There go your numbers. There go your numbers right there. There go your numbers. See, we don't really look at it. We're not doing the real.
No, you didn't give me. Listen. The numbers I'm looking for.
31% of us as a people.
Okay, that ain't what. Listen.
61.
Hold on, sister. That ain't what I'm saying. I said the numbers of homicide from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. That's what I asked for. That's what I asked for. That's what I asked for. Not the population of how many blacks. That's what I asked for. That's exactly what I asked for. The 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. And we'll see.
Go back and check with my book.
Yeah, go.
Don't look at Google.
Okay.
Google
Well,
tell you anything.
okay. Well, just check your books. Check your books. I want you to do that. Okay. Well, how old are you? First of all, I need to know that too.
I'm 47.
Okay. If you 40. Okay. If you 47, that means you lived through the crack booming area back in the 80s. You lived there. Then you back in the 90s. You lived through the BDGD war on Robert Taylor. You lived through all that, right? So you telling me you telling that.
Yeah. Family in every project you
right. So you telling me back then it wasn't ruthless in Chicago, but it was it wasn't ruthless.
Let me say this. And I'm like I said, I'm gonna be totally and utterly honest with you. You go outside those doors right now. There was much more better control of our children. There was a better audacity of women out here. There was a better quality of men out here.
Okay. Let me help you out. Let me help you out.
You stop me. I just want to say this. There's more. It's 80-something thousand black women come up missing every day. Nobody say nothing.
Okay.
Intervention and prevention. That's what we're talking about. What is these state attorneys doing? Is there any intervention and prevention?
Let me say this. I want to say this to you. Just want to say this. This system is a system that's in place. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kim Foxx didn't write it. Anita Alvarez didn't write it. Mary Daly didn't write it. It's a system that's in play. It's a system. Okay. We can't agree on that. Okay. Now remember, if you live back in the 80s with the war on drugs, the crack epidemic, you know what type of people we're dealing with right now that's doing all that crime? Some of these are some of the effects of the crack epidemic. These are the effects right now. I tell you, right now as we speak, we see things. We see teen pregnancy. A lot of teen pregnancy back in the 90s, early 2000s. This is what you see right now.
I'm a product of teen pregnancy. I got 4 college graduates.
Okay.
You can't bring that.
No, well, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of it too, sister.
And this is the thing about it. I don't want to cut you off. Let's say this, and I just want to be honest.
Go ahead.
We have to start. Back then, we had more force on that street. I'm sorry. I'm not going to agree with you on that. We had more power and influence on these streets than we do now. I grew up in the projects where if you sold drugs, we called the police on you because we didn't want it there. You understand me? We fought to keep things out of our community.
What project you grew up in?
I grew up in a village right off of Jewtown.
And y'all called the police? And didn't nothing happen to you?
Yes, they did used to. But you had a lot of old heads that died out in that community. They used to keep that structure. Miss Watkins, Theophilus Watkins' mother, you couldn't sell drugs right there up under her window. You couldn't do it. She'd come out there and crack everybody over the head, and them boys would run you up off from under there.
Okay.
That wasn't happening then. But she died. A lot of people that died that walked around those buildings, that fought for territorial. You're not finna take this.
Okay.
There had a lot of elderlies that did their job.
Well, hold it right there. Hold it right there. Let me talk a little bit. Now, one of my points, point 11, simply says 43 years of oppression and high crime under both father and son daily, and we didn't complain. White folks didn't complain. Now, listen, the dailies, now, you familiar with the dailies, right?
I hate them people.
Well, I mean, hey, it is what it is. Okay.
They didn't do no more.
Okay.
He was a politician all the same.
But
I agree with you.
But a lot of people didn't complain. The white folks didn't complain or anything.
I saw a drunk at school when I was at Malcolm X.
Oh, okay.
And he was drunker than a skunk. See, I'm not afraid to approach nobody.
Okay.
You're not extinct from my word.
Okay.
We can't do that school drunk, I told him, and I stopped him at the door coming out Malcolm X.
Hold on. Let me put this call on hold. Hold on 1 second. Call, I'm gonna need you to hold on, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. Let me switch over. Okay, I got you. All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm the next caller. Okay, now don't forget the assignment that I asked you to do, and I want you to call me back with the numbers, or look in your books. So you don't have to be a rush. I'm gonna be on here. I'll wait till you call me back. Okay, you got anything? Okay, let me tell you. Let me ask you a question. What do you like about Miss Foxx? Hold on, I'm just talking to the thing. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm here talking, and you're not even on the phone. Hello, can you hear me? Oh, well, somebody hung up.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
So I'm not complaining. You know what I'm saying?
No, I listen. I'm not listening.
And trust me when I say this, the system has changed. I work in two fields. I deal with rewards and punishment. So when you talk about mass incarceration and things like that, I'm familiar with it. When you talk about the money monetary system, I'm familiar with it. This country works two ways. You do good, they reward you. You do bad, they punish you. It's intervention and prevention. Period. Okay. Now, what I'm going to say is this. Nobody forces nobody's hands to do drugs. Nobody forces your hand. Nobody put no guns to your head. I grew up in horrible conditions in them projects till they got real bad. But my mama never did drugs. Okay. And she raised 8 kids in that project.
So what are you trying to say?
Got on drugs.
Tell me what you're saying.
What I'm saying is this. The world has ever evolved in a way that there's no way. There's no way you doing this bad. There's no way you doing this bad as a people. There's no way you going to keep pointing the finger. Get your children. Get them. Or somebody going to get them for you. Raise your kids and stay out the clubs. Get them. We didn't do that. The lights hit, you better be in. You missed those lights, it was your what? Finish that statement for me. I don't even have to make it personal. There was more caring parents. Yeah, it was some people that got on drugs. Yeah, it was some people in that, but the whole projects weren't turned out, baby. No.
I agree.
That whole projects weren't turned out. Right. Stop pointing the finger. You know, I learned one thing, Mark. I learned one thing growing up as an adult. I used to drink, I used to smoke weed, and I used to smoke cigarettes. And when I started to hold myself accountable for my own addictions, I became a better person. Why? Because that cigarette can't light up itself. I had to go buy it. I had to earn that addiction myself. That weed couldn't smoke itself unless I bought it and rolled it and lit it up to my mouth. That drink did not walk off the shelf into my hand and I drank it. When you become accountable for yourself and stop throwing flies, I'm not saying the system is not what it is. I would never say that. But at some point in time, we have to start being accountable for what we are allowing things to be done and what we are doing to ourselves and our children.
Well, hold on, ma'am. Hold on 1 second. Somebody just said she was born in the 70s. Her generation failed the babies, and they had babies in the 90s. So is that true?
If I was a failed generation, you can say what you want to say. I got 4 college graduates. I come out of low-income housing. I come from the worst of the worst. You understand me? I want it better. I don't care what you say. I don't care all this predicament you talk. I want it better for my kids and myself. And it was not the damn system. That system was out there for me, too. You think I didn't run into... I've been arrested. I had a record. I fought that system. I fight the IRS. I get on the IRS and talk to them like I talk to you. Hey, unhands that money. You work for me. I don't work for them.
Okay. Well, okay, I'm gonna leave it.
Get in your head, you become a better people.
Okay,
it becomes a better structure.
I'm gonna leave this for you. I need you to check them numbers out for me.
Check them numbers
and call me back. Okay. All right.
Definitely will.
All right.
You stay blessed.
You too. All right, people. I got one person. Okay, that ain't the person I'm looking for. Hold on, people. It's live uncut. It's getting heated, people. It's getting heated. It's getting heated. It's getting heated. It's getting heated. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Live uncut, unedited. They didn't say nothing. Miss Pillerton, call me back. Hung up. They hung up. There we go. Okay. Live uncut, unedited.
Hey, Martin, this is Natasha. Can I come on to speak about Anita and Foxx?
Okay, yeah. Would you hold on 1 second? Let me click this. Hold on. Just hold on.
Hey.
Hello? Could you please hold? I got a caller before you. Okay? Wow, this phone blowing up. It's blowing up. Blowing up. What's going on?
All right. I'm calling out. I support Kim Foxx.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because she practiced the law in a way that we never seen the law being practiced. And we just don't understand the law. Like, okay, if we go back to the Kyle Rittenhouse case. You remember?
Right.
When the white guy had the gun pointed at Martin G. Not Martin G. At Kyle Rittenhouse.
Right.
And Kyle shot him, right?
Right.
And they said he was a felon. And they wanted to know why he wasn't in jail, right?
Right.
Okay, now you remember when the police was on the stand, they said, well, we asked the court for and I'm going to tie all this in. We asked the court for a search warrant to go arrest him and get the gun.
Right.
But the officer said we didn't effect the warrant because of Marcy's law. Okay, so that means that he was a victim because he was a gunshot victim, right?
Okay.
So the police job is not to re-victimize the victim. So just like when those guys was being followed by the police over in Chicago and they stopped at them people's house and shot those folks' houses up and,
right.
they returned fire and killed
right.
them. And Kim Foxx wouldn't prosecute because she said victims cannot be offenders. So she wouldn't prosecute that case. Instead, it's called a mutual combat. Okay. And that's a law that they usually use in California. That's like, that it's a death match going on in front of the police and they can't stop it.
Wow.
So, just the best man win. And to tie that in, I got into the same situation. I got into a shooting in my own house out here in Indiana. Somebody attacked me with a butcher knife in my house. And the police came. They arrested me. My guns was legal. I had a concealed carry permit. But they ran my name, kept running my name, and saying I had task probation, 25 years. So they like, well, how did you get a concealed carry permit and bought these guns? But the judge in my case left the guilty plea on my rap sheet instead of vacating it. See what I'm saying? So that cost me like $5,000 to get out of. And the same thing happened. I beat my case in 1 day. In preliminaries, because
okay. Hold on, brother. Hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. The call-in number is 872-297-6389. Again, 872-297-6389. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so, I was nervous. I'm like, man, I'm about to go to prison, because I got this guilty plea. But my lawyer in Indiana said, we don't know what this means. We can't interpret it because it said you had 297.
You got to turn it down, brother. You got to turn. Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So I beat that case and I'm home. And I think a lot of our problem is we don't know the law. We just so used to getting locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Now say that, brother. Say that.
Yeah.
Brother, you got some type of law degree or you study law or something?
I've been studying I had to study my case for a whole year.
Okay.
When I got attacked in my house,
okay.
with a butcher knife. And I ended up getting into a shooting in my own house. And I got arrested. The police, they said, they told the truth. Like, yeah, he had to defend himself,
okay.
from a person in his house with a butcher knife. And so the judge dismissed the case.
Okay. Let me say this, brother. Let me say this. This is what you remind me of. You remind me of this statement. A lot of people base things on a court of public opinion, but not according to a court of law. That's too different right there. So what you just said, it was a court of law. You know what I'm saying? You spoke law just there. The law. And a lot of us, we don't understand how policy work. We don't understand law, and we move by emotions. You know, we move by emotions. We have to go what's on black and white, the law of the land. Whether we agree with it or not, whether it's bias, it's legal discrimination, but we have to go with what's written in the law. And brother, I'm gonna lead you on that note. Go ahead.
Let me just say one more thing.
Come on, brother, because I got a lot more people. Go ahead.
Really, I'm from Chicago, originally,
okay.
But I never seen them practice law like they practice law in Indiana, in the city of Chicago.
Okay.
They talked about the Constitution and case law, not just what I did, or what I was accused of. My case was based off the Constitution.
Hey, brother, I gotta go. They blowing me up. I gotta go. Bless you, brother. All right. Live, uncut, unedited.
Hi, my name is Dorothy.
Hey, Dorothy, how you doing? Where you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Chicago, South Side, Roseland area.
All right, now. So you know what we talking about Kim Foxx and Anita Alvarez. What you think about both of them? Was a state's attorney. Kim is presently the state's attorney. So what do you think about either or? Just tell me a little something. I want to hear it.
Well, Kim Foxx is no better than Anita Alvarez.
Okay, tell me why.
Anita Alvarez, she covered up my son murder, who was killed by Detective George Hernandez in 2014. She didn't indict the officer. The evidence was in her face.
We talk about Anita Alvarez right now.
Yes, Anita Alvarez.
Okay.
She didn't indict the officer. She enhanced the video. She tampered with the video of my son being shot down by the detective on 53rd and King Drive.
Oh, this Ronnie Man Mama. That's who this is. Johnson. Right. Okay. I didn't know you was. Okay. All right.
And she blew the image up, made it look like he had a gun in his hand. So we had private investigators, everybody looking at this tape. And they came out in, I want to say 2016 or 17, where they said false images helped clear the murder.
I remember that.
Of Ronald Johnson.
Okay.
And now I'm going to talk about Kim Foxx.
Okay, go ahead. Before
she got in office, she was like reaching out to everybody for votes and everything. And she said when she get in office, we was going to see a change. Okay, you've been in office, and we haven't seen any type of changes.
You sure?
None whatsoever.
Nah, I can't agree with you on that, Ms. Johnson. I can tell you one.
You might see it on your end, but on our end, we haven't seen any.
Okay.
Because it was stuff that she told to us that y'all not aware of.
Okay, well, that's personal, because okay.
And these police officers are still doing the same thing.
Okay.
Still shooting them down.
Okay,
and
now.
Nothing's being done about it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Have any officers ever got charged under Kim Foxx administration?
Not that I can recall of.
Okay. Did you ever recall about Kim Foxx raising the retail theft up to like $1,000, I think, for a felony, and it was at $300 when she came in? Have you ever recalled that they had the bail reform where people was getting railroad with bail? A certain race, they get tapped on the back, and we get a extremely high bail. I mean, these things have happened.
Those are little. They see, that might be big things to some of you all, but to us with all this murdering and stuff.
But let me just say this. Let me say this, Ms. Johnson. I respect you, and I understand your case. Now, it's been 43 years with the father and son, and I ain't hear nobody complaining. Nobody, I'm talking about the dailies. Nobody complaining. It was killing back then, and it's still gonna be killing. Still gonna be killing. And you know Chicago is corrupt. You know, and I know they are corrupt. They tell us as public citizens to speak up, and reason why we don't get crime solved to speak up. But when they see wrongdoing with one another, they don't say anything. So it go both ways. I understand what you're saying, and I'm not taking up for no wrongdoing from nobody, Ms. Foxx or Anita, none of them. I'm just telling the truth and shaming the devil. And I realize Kim Foxx might have told people some personal things that she gonna do for her, and but hey, all I can say, she got to live with that. She has to live with that. I respect Kim Foxx for her boldness. One thing I can say under her administration, that the county jails are empty. I can say that because before she got in there, it was overcrowded. Because I was in there, I already know. Overcrowded. People sleeping on the floors. Now, they screaming, crying, people getting out the next day. But see, the thing is, the same thing that worked for the white people, if I may say this, innocent until proven guilty. Now, black people are exercising that too. Only thing that they're holding people in jail for is murder. They're not giving them no bond. Anything else, you probably get a bond or you might get a home monitoring. So, I mean, she ain't working no miracles, but you can see some progress. You can see that. You can see that. And like you said, Dorothy, I don't know what she told you. And I believe, and I know you're an honest woman. I met you personally. So I know you ain't not going to get on here and lie on her for nothing. That I do know. That I know. So I'm saying Kim Foxx walked into a dirty bathtub. She got into a dirty bathtub. Now, what she's going to have to do is drain, as I've used Trump's line, she got to drain the swamp. This thing need an overhaul. It needs an overhaul. And how Anita Alvarez did your son, and they put that little gun mark on that little, what they call it, I call it clip art. That's what they did. You know what I'm saying? That was bogus. That was bogus. So I understand. And I'm going to just say this to you. It's two people that don't like Kim Foxx. The victim's family and the police officers. Those two people, groups of people, do not like Kim Foxx because they figure people are getting out of jail. My son got killed. The police saying, well, we locking people up and y'all letting them back out. But like I read before you got on here, when people are on home confinement, monitor, only 10% are reoffenders. That 90% of people are compliance. That's what the media don't tell you guys. Remember, the media is here to get ratings. They got to start chaos and all that. They have to do that. And a lot of these media people, mainstream media, a lot of them are biased and they are racist. And they are racist. They are racist. They don't care about, go ahead. I don't want to talk. Go ahead, talk, Dorothy. I'm sorry, I just said it. Yeah, a lot of them are biased. And all they doing is what you call is a divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Trust me.
They put the camera in my face.
Yep. Yep.
I said what I said.
Right.
That goes for anybody. What goes around comes around.
That's right.
You can't do stuff and think you're going to get away with it. You're going to live a happy life. No, you're not. When I said what goes around comes around, they tried to sanction me. Mm-hmm. They tried to lock me up. But right now to this day, it's been 7 years. That man murdered my son, and I still feel the same way. Can nobody make me say nothing, no difference?
I bet.
They couldn't bat me off. It's been 7 years, and I still ain't took a settlement with the city of Chicago. I want that man charged with the murder of my son, and I'm glad murder don't have no statute of limitations.
United States, Illinois.
Because I don't care who get in that office. I'm still gonna keep until I get some type of justice for my son, because my son was murdered cold-blooded.
Cold-blooded too. Cold-blooded. I've seen it.
I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna get justice. And I ain't been in the media or none yet. I just been sitting back, getting my paperwork, everything ready, and I'm going back.
All right, I would never tell a parent don't fight for the child. But by the way, did you block me? Because you ain't my friend no more. I was looking for you about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said, we ain't friends.
We friends on Facebook.
Okay, you must change your last name then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other page got hacked.
Okay. I'm finna say, because I ain't never did nothing to Miss Johnson. I ain't never did nothing to her. Okay. Thank you so much for your opinion. I value opinions. Like I tell people when they call in, they don't have to agree with me because I don't know everything, and I'm trying to be fair with comparing to both. But y'all know Chicago is corrupt. It's definitely corrupt. The whole system is corrupt, people.
Politician and everything.
Yeah, they all work together. All work together.
What we want to hear. Then they get into office, it's the hell with us.
That's it, sister. You said it. All right, sister. I'm gonna take this next caller. All right, thank you. All right, bye-bye. Live, uncut, unedited.
Hey, Martin. How you doing tonight?
Oh, you're all good. Turn your thing down, and so you can talk to us. Turn your Facebook down. And they got you. I'm so sorry because they swarming me. Go ahead, sister. Go ahead.
How you doing?
All right.
This is Natasha.
I know who you are, but they don't know who you are. Go ahead.
Okay. Chicago, and I lost my daughter, 19-year-old daughter, to gun violence. And I've been dealing with some things with Kim Foxx. And my thing is that, let me just first say this, if I may, Mark.
Go ahead. So go ahead.
My daughter was killed in 2013. And the person that they locked up, I've been out here fighting in Chicago, fighting in the streets, putting up reward flyers, and doing all this, right?
Right.
So they finally locked up the man.
Okay.
And I heard you say something about bond.
Right.
That they keep murderers in jail. That's, Martin, I'm living proof that that's a story.
Okay.
That is a story. They allowed this person that killed my daughter. They allowed him house arrest. They allowed him, he went back before the judge. They allowed him to go out every Thursday to go grocery shopping for his mother. They did all this. Then they turned around and they dropped the charges.
Okay. Well, let me say something. As of last year in October, let me make a correction. As of last year in October until now, anybody get caught with murder, they're giving them no bond. I'll say that because I did read the article, Timothy, Chief Judge. That's what he said. I'll pull up. So you're right on that, but I should have said October of last year because Timothy.
And it happened before that.
Right.
My case before came up. I had a meeting.
Right.
Kim Foxx. She wasn't there, but at Kim Foxx office. And this, that's why I've been quiet. I haven't said anything about this, so this is the first time I'm speaking about this. But I had a meeting at Kim Foxx office right before October, and probably like September or August. And they allowed this person that they charged with murder. You hear me? Are you listening?
I'm listening.
They allowed this man to let go him. They let him go, dropped all the murder charges. But let me tell you why. Because of the people that was with my daughter. The police, they did their job. They got this man. The evidence, they did everything they needed to do. They brought the case before the state's attorney office. They did all these things. You know what I'm saying? And to know that the people that was with my daughter, a lot of these, let me say this, a lot of the things that's going on, I hold myself accountable too. I have sons too. And if my sons are out here doing something, having guns and stuff like that, Martin, I hold myself accountable. I'm going to get in their tails, right? It's them that's doing it if they go out here and do something. It ain't the state's attorney. It's not the mayor that's pulling the trigger. It's our kids. It's the people that live in our houses. So Ray Ray and Pookie. So I want to say that I am tired of people saying that, it's this, is this. It's a part of it, but it starts with us. It starts at our homes. We have to look at ourselves and hold ourselves accountable. They not going out here pulling guns. It's the youth. It's the people, the young men out here going to pulling these guns. We have to get them. It's not the state's attorney. It's the state's attorney job to lock these people up. Let me get back to my point about the state's attorney. I just had to throw that in there, Mark.
Okay.
I do apologize. I want to stay on point.
Okay. So
they let this man go. They dropped all the charges on this man. So now this man is walking the streets freely, thinking he got away with something, Martin, because of the victim, the other people that was in the car with my daughter. They first said that, they identified the man and everything, did all that. When it was time for court or whatever the process was, they started reneging on their story.
Can I say something? Let me stop you right there. That just happened to my sister. Her son got killed 4 years ago, shot like 89 times in the head. And they had a couple of witnesses. They could not. The man had been in jail for like about 4 or 5 years. Since he got caught like a couple of days after he did the shoot and kill my nephew. So he just got released. They did not charge him with murder. They charged him with UUW, unlawful weapon use of gun, because the witnesses reclined it. They couldn't find. They didn't show up or none of that. So now what Kim Foxx and them is doing, they make sure when these officers write these reports up, they got to do a thorough report. They got to have witnesses and everything. So I feel the same way you feel because, like, that man killed my nephew broad daylight in front of like 7 to 8 people. And guess what? His killer is out walking around on Facebook, tossing bottles. And I didn't blame Kim Foxx that. I blame the witnesses that recanted their statement. That's who I blame for. That's what I'm been out. My sister, if she on here, she could tell you that. That's my blood sister.
I don't blame these people. Only thing, not to cut you, only thing I blame is when they get before these judges and they allow them these bonds and they allow these electronically monitoring. If you are being charged with a heinous crime, I don't care what goes on. I just feel if you're standing before a judge and you're charged with a heinous crime, I believe until everything is situated, they should not have any bond. They should lock them up until they figure things out. It's not right, because if you look at what's been going on, the people that they're allowing bonds and electronically monitoring, what is going on? They're still committing more crimes.
Well, let's hold on. Let me help you out now, because the TV got us thinking one way, but it's really, in reality, the numbers say, according to Timothy Evans, the chief judge, he says, most people that's on home monitoring, only 10% are repeat offenders. 90% of people that's on home confined monitoring are in compliance. So remember, this is a trick. This is what the media do. They're going to show that small 10 and blow it up out of where and make like everybody getting out of jail. Everybody getting out of jail. Everybody that's on house arrest is going back there redoing the same crime. It's only 10% according to the numbers. Judge
according to their numbers, right?
Right.
Okay.
Now, okay.
Let's keep that in perspective.
Okay, to that numbers. Okay.
But here's the thing. Let me get back to what happened.
Go ahead.
So they brought me in and had a meeting at the state's attorney's office about, they was prepping me to let me know, in which I already had known. If you go back and look at my posts and everything, I had already said that they was going to, let them go, leave, let it be. What the trash to take out the trash. I was on the show and I had said that. So anyway, they brought me in, I guess prepping me, telling me that they was about to drop the charges and everything like that. And I was like, well, what's the problem? It was the people that was in the car whom also got shot. They looked at this man, could identify this man did, and then went back and whatever the candidate
statement, yeah.
Right. So now I'm back at square one. Here's the thing, Miss Stingley, we don't want you saying anything. We don't want you saying anything. We don't want nobody saying nothing to you. We don't want nobody hurting your feelings. We don't want the killer. We don't want the kids in the car saying anything to you. So can you not say nothing about we letting them go? Are you listening to what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. But so now, what?
No, that's how the law works. I mean, it's the law. See, that's the difference between a law of court, of public opinion, and a law of court. It's two different things. Sometimes we're really emotional, and the law works in its own way. But we concede in this judicial system, it is corrupt. You are innocent until proven guilty. But most blacks are guilty until proven innocent. It works the other way with us, though. But and I'm going to say this too. Chicago, Illinois is the number one. You can Google this. You can look it up. It's the number one false confession state. False confession. That's what it is. Number one has been documented. So this thing has been ugly before Kim Foxx. This thing has been ugly before Anita Alvarez. It's been ugly when Daley was in. It's ugly. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. It's corrupt, sister.
It's corrupt.
And some people, it's not going to get justice. Not in this life, which is some of us. I mean, my sister is just like you. She's still hurting. She's still bereaved. She's hurting. You want justice for your loved one. And like I said before you got on, it's two groups of people that really don't care for Kim Foxx. The police and those, the family members of victims that have been shot and killed and stuff like that. They don't care about Kim Foxx. But I tell you one thing, Kim Foxx is not perfect. But she way better than what we had in there, though. And you got to remember, she have to work within the system. What's on paper?
Exactly.
She have to.
And I don't blame. I've never said I blame anyone. I blame the shooter. I blame the kids that was in the car with my daughter, because y'all looked this man in his face and y'all called him a cross-eyed bitch, and he shot up the car because of y'all. My daughter just had got in the car.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Hold on. Okay, 1 minute. I'll let you speak. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay, go ahead, sister.
Yes.
I'm going to give you another minute, then I got another call. Go ahead. Say whatever you want to say in a minute.
So that's all I want to call in and say. I just want to say thank you for having this show, Martin, and thank you for allowing me to talk. But I just believe that Kim Foxx and her office, I mean, me personally, I just believe it starts at home. Okay. It starts with us getting our children. It's, you know what I'm saying? Some of the things are on her office because of keeping the criminals locked up and, you know, making laws and following procedure and everything. But I will keep it real. Look in your home when these kids are at school. Y'all the FBI, y'all the CPD. Some of these crimes will stop if y'all go in these kids' rooms, bust their rooms down, and look what's up in their room. You'll be shocked at what they hide in your house and in their rooms. When they not at home, go in their rooms. Get your children. So that's all I want to say. Okay,
thank you, sister. Thank you. You too. You too. Okay, live uncut on Eddie. Go ahead, caller. Where you calling from, caller?
Brother Martin, good evening. Calling from Chicago. I'd like to remain anonymous, but I'd like to share with you tonight.
Okay, come on.
Okay. I'm a supporter and believer of criminal justice reform. I'm a supporter and believer in bond reform. We have witnessed decades of blacks being railroaded in the Cook County criminal justice system. Now, we fought for reforms. Now we taste a little bit of reform, and now we don't know what to do because we are fed misinformation. Now, number one, we got to understand the criminal justice system. Judges, not prosecutors. Kim Foxx don't personally prosecute. She's the boss. She has assistant state's attorneys. The judges meet out bonds. That's the sole job of judges, and we have to understand that. So if we're angry with electronic monitoring, which we fought and marched for reforms, now we don't like it because we have publicized incidents, small incidents, because you have maybe 100 people out of electronic monitoring who's reoffending, but you have 20,000 who are in compliance. 20,000 who's not reoffending. So we have reform, and now we don't want to reform. We want to go backwards. That's a brainwashed people. That's a sick people. Now let me tell you this. In the criminal justice system, you charge, you're arrested, and then you charge. Under Anita Alvarez, since you had the two against each other, Anita Alvarez versus Ms. Foxx, Kim Foxx, Anita Alvarez felony review unit automatically charged black defendants with felonies, even when they had the choice to charge them with misdemeanors. They will overcharge them if you're black and Hispanic. They will overcharge you. So you got a high bond, black and Latino sit in jail over at 26 California. They cop out. They cop a plea because they can't afford the high ransom bond. So they're taking a felony, Martin. Mm-hmm. They're taking a felony and not even fighting it. Now, the Constitution gives them protections. But who wants to sit a year because they can't afford bonds? So they knew the game they were playing. We're going to charge him with a bond. He has a background. The bond judge is going to give him $300,000 to walk, and he's not going to be able to afford it, so he's going to get a conviction. He get a conviction, guess what? He can't get housing. He can't get job. He can't get an educational loan. It's the cycle. So we wanted to get out of that, so we marched. We went on reforms. Now we're sick and tired of the reform. Ms. Foxx been in office for 5 years. What she does is her felony review unit holds the Chicago police and suburban police to charge, meaning if you have the evidence, come with the evidence to support the charge. You want me to prove these charges? Come with the evidence. I need the witnesses. I need their accounts. There's no more taking the police word and then running automatically approving these charges. That's what they did to us, Martin, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. They took the police word. Anita Alvarez did it. Her predecessor, Dick Devine, did it. This is what they did. Richard M. Daley, before he was mayor, he was Cook County State's Attorney as well. He was a part of that cesspool. He was a part of that cesspool. So now she tells her felony review, the Chicago police and suburban police in Cook County, they got to come with evidence now. She's holding the standard. So now they got to come with evidence. Now, I listened to a couple of callers, and I empathize with them, and I feel them, and I hear their pain. But see, here's the thing, Brother Martin. Mm-hmm. If her assistant state's attorneys take these cases and they go to trial with the scant or insufficient evidence that they have, if they proceed, the standard in law is you got to prove them guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, they go to a judge and they go to a jury of 12, and the state's attorney has a case that they're wishing and hoping that they can get a conviction on, but knowing they can't, because a good defense attorney, even a public defender, is going to beat these charges. Now, guess what? The killer or the murderer walks forever, because if you get a not guilty, they can never be retried. So these mothers, they want to roll the dice and say, we'll take them to trial anyway, So when they can't get the victim to cooperate and they can't get the victim to ID the perpetrator or the suspect on the stand, guess what? The reasonable doubt is there. They get the reasonable doubt, and guess what? It's not guilty. Guess what? The murderer still walks. The murderer is still free, and guess what? He can never be tried again. So the state's attorney has said, let us have our I's dotted and our T's crossed. They want to bring strong cases. Ms. Foxx or no other prosecutor wants a murderer just to walk. Nobody wants that. You know what I'm saying? But even with Ms. Foxx, she holds the police accountable, and they don't like that because they're so used to Mark coming with scant and little evidence that, our people are automatically jailed. They're automatically thrown in 26 in California. 26 in California was really the biggest project in the county of Cook. Because they had over 10,000 guys sleeping on floors and packed over there, Martin. And a lot of them had small crimes, retail thefts, drug issues, drug abuse. Violent offenders were still held. Now, we wanted bond reform. I remember that. Now we got it. We hate it. But we're skewed with the numbers. We're skewed with the numbers, man. We're skewed with the numbers. Yes, you're going to get somebody out there who get on electronic monitor. They were letting people on electronic monitor in the Fed, in other states, in Illinois, because of COVID, because of the pandemic. They didn't want anybody to die in the jails. So they were giving people that they wouldn't ordinarily give electronic monitoring. Electronic monitoring is still jail, but it's jail at home. So you had some people that took advantage of the situation. You're always going to have that. So they would go out and reoffend. They would go out and commit other crimes. Yeah, you would hear about the 100. They got a website in Chicago, CWP. They love exploiting black plight, black issues. So they would show these people, who were reoffended. They had a tally last year, but out of 20,000 people on EM, they came up to 100. You know what I'm saying? You do the statistics, you do the math. So we're concentrating on the small numbers because we want Miss Foxx to look bad. Shame on black people who don't like this black sister for no facts. They don't have any facts. They have emotions, but they don't have facts. Her office are holding the police to account, and she wants to go to trial with hardcore evidence because far too long, black defendants have been going to trial with insufficient evidence, and sometimes they're getting railroaded. So now she's holding them to account. We're angry with her for holding the police to account. Are we crazy? Are we crazy? We're blaming her because defendants are on electronic monitoring. She doesn't have that power. Her office doesn't have that power. The judges have it. But we wanted the judges to be fair. So now we're getting a little small sense of semblance of parity. Now we can't handle it. We want to go back to the old system where you lock them up and throw away the key. Fine, Martin. When the Cook County Jail was overcrowded with 13,000 people, were we any safer? Were we better?
No, we're no better.
No, they were not.
That's right.
The 90s were the deadliest years. And I can't believe some of these people who are 40s and 50s and live in Chicago are saying that they've never seen it worse. Where have you been?
Yes.
Young people will say that. The people who were born in the 80s and 90s, they don't know any better. They haven't lived longer.
Right.
But if you live, it has gotten better. And all of those who left Chicago, bless them. Because a lot of them moved their kids away, and those kids had those criminal mentalities, and they just took those criminal minds elsewhere, and they're wreaking havoc wherever they moved to. Chicago may be a little bit safer You know what I'm saying? With those who are left. Yeah. But those who are here and call this place home, we work, play, and eat here and enjoy this place. We want a better city, and we want to realize a better city. Mayor Harold Washington was born here in 22. He wasn't part of the great migration from the South. He was born here, rose up the ranks, went to law school, and became the first black mayor of Chicago. But my thing is, we got somebody who ran on reform. She's a reformist. Now we don't like it. Why we don't like it? Because what the news media does, again, Mark, and I'm going to get off because I know we have other callers.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's the thing. She tells her assistant state's attorney, make sure the police have hardcore evidence. I scratch my head with some of these victims, and I empathize with them. You know, I had a cousin that, you know, saying that the son got killed at, you know, he was 4 years old. This is back in 2001. I understand that. But here's the thing. If her assistant state's attorneys go to trial, okay, and they have insufficient evidence or a rocky case, will they feel better if the perpetrator, if the offender, if the murderer got found not guilty? Because that's what's going to happen. So when he gets found not guilty, he can't get retried. He cannot get retried. So we finally got a prosecutor who don't automatically take the police at their word. Now we're angry with her. She has to perform miracles. She has to walk on water. She has to part the Red Sea. You know what I'm saying? She has to do all of that to appease us. And that's unfair to her. She's done a great job. She's continuing to do a great job. She's reforming this system. She loves her people. She loves people of color. The state's attorney, somebody, you had a caller that said state's attorney. I think that was, I won't say any name, but one of your callers said that the state's attorney's job is to lock people. That's not her job. Go on her website and look at the mission of the state's attorney. It's to seek justice. And justice is not to lock everybody up. Justice is if you don't have the right person charged for this, we're not going to charge them. If you know the evidence is not there, we're not going to charge them. She's trying to level the playing field, and they don't understand the role of a prosecutor. That's why you have prosecutors decide to charge cops, and those don't decide to charge cops. That's how you have prosecutors. I mean, there's a prosecutor who, you know, decide to drop a case out in another state. He doesn't get the backlash. Now, Miss Foxx decides to drop a case, and then they, you know, say they want to say, oh, she's soft on crime. She's not. Anita Alvarez didn't charge cops. Dick Devine didn't like to charge cops. You know what I'm saying? The cops don't fool around with Miss Foxx because they know they'll be charged if the evidence support it. They know they'll be charged. But, man, we got to get out. We got to stop drinking this flavored Kool-Aid of hating on black elected officials. Were we better when a white person was at the helm? No, we were not.
Not at all.
We want to go backwards. We're not interested in progress. That's all I had to say, Brother Martin. This is someone that's in the criminal justice system who holds a law degree.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right, no problem. All right. Live, uncut, unedited. Hey, how you doing?
You're back. I had the opportunity to look at your numbers, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
And I mean, numbers, and I'm going to say this.
No, just tell me the numbers. You ain't got to go into this. Just give me the numbers.
It said, let me say this again. It said it was higher.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
It said it was higher.
Okay.
You know, and I was just listening to what the other brother said. You know what I'm saying? But all day long, if you're in the criminal justice field, I'm going to say one thing and one thing only. Intervention and prevention. Whether you're a judge, you're a state attorney, you're a public defender, you're a police officer, you're a parole officer, everything is about intervening into something, which that is what a prosecution is for, intervening. But when you intervene, what are you doing to prevent it?
You don't think that
let's look at that.
But you don't think that started at home with their parents?
I do. That's what I stated in my first.
Okay.
Myself. I said,
all right.
I said, remember, I told you I had to check myself.
Right.
I'm talking to somebody who was through the criminal justice.
Right.
I started off in juvenile. I was I was that kid. Okay? I was that kid. So when someone tell me the shoes I walked in, did I know better? Yeah, my mama told me better. But my mama stayed with her foot, excuse my words, right where it needed to be. She didn't come up off of none of her kids. None of them. Okay. But at the same time, do you know why I got in the criminal justice field?
Okay.
Because I saw crooked cops, crooked politicians up there. And I saw us sitting up here saying, oh, she's a great person. If she a great person, then intervene like you're supposed to. Well, you want to stop crying on the street? Stop taking that extra money, that extra $2 million that's given to each community, and start back opening up a safe haven for these kids to go somewhere instead of to the streets. Okay. When we gonna pour some of that money that you keep it for yourself to keep your nails and your hair done? Where's the prevention? You intervening, okay, but all you're talking about with her is protect and serve. That is not the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system is based on intervening and preventing crime.
Okay, baby, I gotta let you go now. I gave you a point. I told you to call back.
Thank you so
much.
You.
All right.
And, yeah, I was there.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye. All right. I got to call my partner. She been calling, and she mad at me probably right now. I'm finna call my partner. All right, people, it's live, uncut, unedited. They got to hold on. All right. Live, uncut, unedited. Who's calling?
I don't want to give my name.
You don't have to give your name. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Chicago.
Okay.
And I work inside the system.
Okay, well, talk to us. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I agree with the...
You got to turn your Facebook down. Turn your Facebook down so you won't hear no echo.
I was saying that I agree with the brother who was just speaking.
Okay.
And if you don't work in the system, you don't understand sometimes. I've seen everything. I've worked from the police department to Cook County. I've seen some of the most dirty stuff you've ever seen happen in the police department. I've seen dirty stuff happen in the state's attorney's office before Kim Foxx. Yeah, you did have police officers who did a whole lot of stuff that people just would find unbelievable. And state's attorneys who went along with it, who set up people, even though they knew they were innocent. I've seen it all firsthand in the system. I saw a judge let a sex offender walk because he was friends with the private attorney who came in, and he didn't want him to get sued in the civil court. So when Kim Foxx came, a lot of this stuff couldn't go on just like he said. I was there, so I saw what happened when John Burge was doing his thing on the daily. Did they forget this while they talking about Kim Foxx? Did they forget that John Burge set up all of these people and tortured them? And the torturing, for example, at 51st and Wentworth, where I work for the police department. At 51st and Wentworth, they daily kick people's behind and wouldn't care if you had a camera rolling in that station. So don't tell me that the police weren't a part of the corruption and the state's attorneys went along with it. Now, I agree with the brother, now under Kim Foxx, they're held accountable. You have to bring hardcore evidence. You can't just make up stuff and throw anybody in there. I've seen in the court system people who have petty offenses like picking up something at Walmart, and judges setting bonds for $25,000 that their families could meet, and public defenders who would stand in front of judges and said that they interviewed clients that they never went in the back to interview. So when Kim Foxx came, all of that had to take place. They kept records of who's going back there interviewing. They know whether you went to interview clients now. Now they're looking at evidence. Now you can't just present anything. Probation officers just can't violate cases anymore just on slim stuff that doesn't even make sense. Just because you didn't call me one day. No, you got to bring the evidence now. So it is being cleaned up under Kim Foxx, and it's unfair for people who don't know what's really going on. It's unfair for them to say that about her, because if they only knew, they're safer now than they ever been. Now, some of this stuff is federal laws that judges have to go by. They forgot that bail and cash bond reform came from the federal government. It didn't come from the local level. They have to do these things, and these are good things. What people don't understand is all you have to do is be black and driving. You don't have to be young. You could be an older individual. My husband's older, driving a Mercedes-Benz in Orland Park. The police pulled him over because they said, oh, we thought you were driving too fast. What they thought was that he was younger than he was until they got up on him. He just happened to be black while driving a Mercedes-Benz. So all of these things can grow to something bigger for anybody, and people need to think about that while they're sitting and talking about Kim Foxx, and stop allowing people to make you self-hate yourself, because it's self-hatred. When you look at a sister who's trying to help you, who's giving her all to her community and putting herself on the line, and you guys want to run around and talk about some damn Jussie Smollett. Don't nobody care about Jussie Smollett and what he did. That ain't costing me, but it costs me a whole lot when you have people undermining the system and want to make every black man a criminal. Because when you ask for these laws, it don't mean just young people. It's all of us. It's all of us. It's even those of us who work in the system. It's all of us that can be pulled over, locked up, because all you have to do is be accused of a crime. It doesn't mean that you had to commit it. You just have to be accused, and then you have to find your way out of it. That's all I got to say.
Thank you so much. I will keep you anonymous. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Woo! Y'all heard it for itself. This is a home run hitting out here. I'm telling y'all people, y'all let this television and all this stuff, this mainstream media just knock y'all out the box. And don't think. You got to start thinking, people. You can't take these people of what they saying. I'm telling you, you got to keep it 100.
Hello.
Live, uncut, unedited, partner. I got you on here. I'm so sorry. They've been coming in on me. So come on, talk to us.
So you asked, you saying which one is better? Was Anita, Alvarez, or Kim Foxx?
Yes.
Neither one, honestly. Neither.
Well, why you say?
Because you got to look at it, I feel like they're puppets. It's like when it's two minorities, right? Anytime two minorities running for office or something, they always got to say why they're different from their people. Well, they have to say, well, I come from hard times, but I work very hard to get where I'm at, right? They just can't speak on their goals, what they did. They got to speak on, where they lived, how impoverished it was.
Okay.
And so what happens is, it's like you got to prove to, I hate to say it for white people, that you're different from them, you're not them. So what happened is, when they try to prove that, they let them in office, and then they become puppets. You are the face of what we try. You're just the face. But behind the scenes, things are still ran the way they've been ran forever in Chicago.
Did you just hear that last caller? That lady broke it down. Did you hear that last caller? What do you think? What are thoughts about what she said?
The one who lived over there in
the No. The one just called her before you. She was the last. She just came on. I just called you back, and she was on before you. She broke it down. When I tell you she broke it down, and there's another black man on here, he broke it down how it works. And I'll tell people all the time, the court of a public opinion is different from a court of law. A lot of us, we don't know law, how it works. So we basing it on our emotions, our morals, and stuff like that. And we have to be careful, because I'm not a lawyer, but I know some things. One thing I can tell you, by me being 53, I was locked up in the county when it was overcrowded. It was super overcrowded. I was locked up. But now it's not that. They're exercising the Fair Bond Act. They're letting people come home on electronic monitoring. Now, according to numbers, Timothy Evans, Chief Judge Timothy Evans, he said only 10% of people that's on home monitoring are repeat offenders. 90% of people that's on house arrest, I would say, are in compliance. But the media take that little small 10, small 10 and make it look bad. Nah.
Because the media has a job to do, and the job the media does is all negativity. The only thing they may show positive is about, maybe, okay, this young boy, he's a football player or something like that. Besides that, the media is made to show negativity. It's always meant to show negativity.
But that's what they do. That's their job, to bring negativity.
You got to understand that DAs, parole officers, probation officers, policemen, sheriffs, they all stay employed, unfortunately, because of us.
Of course.
When I say us, black people, I'm going to be honest with you. It's like, and this was like a while ago, prison is a business. All of it is a whole business. The only people it really affects is us.
Mm-hmm.
We always the ones affected. I don't care who get in office. We always going to be the ones affected because we're the ones that's targeted. That's like this. Let's say you have a politician he's a black politician, and let's say he's for our people, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to find everything. They're going to try to dig so deep in his past to find anything bad about him.
Of course, to discredit him to us. And see, and to us. And we was complaining, and you was a little younger, I'm a little older than you. We was complaining when the county jail was overcrowded. And listen, if you'd have heard that last caller, she said it was people in there for little petty crimes. High bond, $25,000. But now we got bond. Now it's reformed now. And people, they don't know what they want. Black people listen to white people. I'm sorry. We are misled. We don't know law.
I remember I saw something. It was about people in prison. And they said what they get you to do is plea. Plea. They don't want you to go to trial. They want you to plea.
That's right.
They want you to sit there and plea and give yourself a record because they don't want to do the drawing out thing for trial. And the people get scared and they say, well, I'm just going to take the plea bargain, even if they're innocent. It's all a business. And
it is a business.
It's to keep us in that system. That's like this. A black guy, he could be a bad law citizen. He walking down the street. Man, this business. Them officers sometimes just bother him just because of his skin. He ain't got to be doing nothing. But man, his business. He's always a target. We're always a target, unfortunately. So when we get somebody that's in office, that's a minority, they are nothing but puppets.
Well, let me just say this. Let me say that even with the puppet, I'd rather have somebody in the office that's a puppet than don't have nobody in there do nothing. They could do something.
That's true.
I'd rather have that in the sense. I agree with you on that. I'd rather have that because I can see the change with Kim Foxx. Now, remember, this system, it's a system that's been in play that's older than Kim Foxx. Yeah. It's a good old boy network. It's in play. Now, they get all the breaks, but now when we start getting breaks, it's not fair. She got to go. You know, the number one thing, see, I lived through the mass incarceration. I lived through when the crack hit the streets in the 80s and the 90s and the drug baby was born. I was a part of that. I was a part of the mass incarceration. Thank God I didn't get convicted, but I was a part of it. I seen that. And guess who the war was on? It was war on black people. Black people.
Because what happens is this, okay, if you even look at that, okay, so they had all the factory jobs, right? They cut all the factory jobs, right? So now, how this brother supposed to make a living? Let's bring drugs over here. Let's bring it over here. Now, we're going to let them sell drugs. And the thing is, okay, they harming each other. Now, we feel like they're harming our people. So what they do, they don't care about, black women being strung out on drugs, black men. They don't care about all that. It's only when it came to their side of town. Mm-hmm. So now we got to lock them up, and we finna get them these long sentences, and it's gonna affect his mama, it's gonna affect his wife, it's gonna affect his children. He get out of jail fast forward. He's institutionalized, majority of them. So now what he supposed to do? He's 40-some years old. He's never had a job or anything. What skill do he have? Mm-hmm. He might have got some diplomas inside of jail, but then when he comes out, they're gonna hire the person without a record quick or proper. More than likely. So he got those strikes. He got so many strikes against him. And it's unfortunate us as black people. We got a lot of strikes against us just because of the color of our skin.
True.
That's the biggest strike ever. And so even though some of us got a hit a little bit, but if it's the majority of us, just all of us in general, we are so far behind.
Yes, we are. Yes, and a lot of that is because of the systems that's in play, and we don't know knowledge. We don't know information. That's the scripture in the Bible said, "My people perish for the lack of knowledge, information." We don't know. We as black people, we're very emotional. You know what I'm saying? We're very emotional, and sometimes we have to take our emotions out of the equation. Out. You got laws strictly for black people. I call them legalize discriminatory laws. Yeah, of course. And we know that those laws in place to keep us in check. That's what that is.
Like
so,
this. That's like the cameras. You don't see those cameras on in white neighborhoods. They put them in poor neighborhoods. They know it's no money there, but they want to constantly suck everything up out of there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like like you stated, the laws they've been putting there after slavery. They always going to be there. They will never leave. They will never leave, even though some of our people, you know, they like, you got millionaires, right? You got black millionaires, right?
Right.
And they say, well, you know, I got millions of dollars and I'm this, and they like you. Yeah, until you do something they don't like, then they don't like you. Then you become what as regular black people are. You know, I don't care if you're poor or if you're rich, you still have black skin. And so we do have to take our emotions out of it. We need to stop settling.
Yeah.
And we have to stop being so separated and say, well, it ain't me. But the thing is, it's all of us. There's no separation. It's all of us. Kim Foxx can relate to a lot of us because she grew up in a certain area. But the thing is, it's like, okay, we're going to watch every little thing you do. We're going to watch every little thing you do.
Yeah.
We're going to have an issue with everything you do. We're going to try to turn your people against you, too.
Right. Call in, Jamal. Call in. Okay, that's cool. All right, then, sister, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much, partner. All right, bye-bye. All right. Bye-bye. Yeah, this is live uncut, unedited, people. This is live uncut, unedited. This is real. Okay, Derek, I'm going to get you next. All right, you ready to talk?
You just pull me in.
Oh, okay, you want me to pull you in? Let me try to pull you in. Hold on. Hang up. Hold on, brother. Hold on, wait a minute. I got to pull somebody in real quick. So hold on, okay? Okay, hold on, okay. Yeah, it's live uncut, unedited, people. We got to, this is live uncut, unedited. All right, J-Ma, where you at? Where you at? I seen you on here. Okay, I see you. Live uncut, unedited. All right, J-Ma, I sent you a request. Live uncut, man. We got a lot of information, people. A lot of information today. A lot of information. We had a couple of law people coming up in here. One lady said she worked in it. One brother said he practiced law. So, wow. Now, why it won't let me bring the brother in? I just brought them. Okay, hold on. Jay, you got to go out and come in, man. Just come on the phone. You got to go out and come in. I'm going to get you next. After that, I'm going to get you Bobby, too. Because I know you called. Live uncut, unedited. J-Mo, log out of Facebook and log back in. There you go. Approve you now. I'm approved now. Are you? I don't see it, man. Just call. Okay, there you go. Let's see. All right. Go ahead, man.
Marty.
Go ahead. Yes, sir.
You can hear me? All right.
Yeah, I'm the crime chase. Don't call me Marty. I'm crime chase.
Crime chase.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, look, listen. Let me first just say that I think that a lot of people don't understand the system that was in place before Kim Foxx got in. Anita Alvarez, first of all, was a terrible state's attorney. And she was one of those tough on crime or, lock them up, throw away the key type state's attorneys. And when you had a transition to Kim Foxx, where Kim Foxx fought for bail reform and cash bail, where folks who have nonviolent offenses or folks, period, no matter what they do, are afforded a bond that they can afford or have alternative programs that they can get on so that they're not sitting in jail for, let's say, stealing a laptop and they sitting in jail for a year into trial. She's fought for that, right? When you talk about retail theft, she raised the retail theft. Matter of fact, back to what I just said, like stealing, food or whatever the case is. She said, well, you got to steal over $1,000 worth of merchandise for me to charge you with a felony, right? When you talk about, right. I'm gonna give y'all Sergeant Watts. I want y'all to look this up. Sergeant Watts. And at the end of the day, Sergeant Watts was somebody who was a crooked cop who planted folks on planted stuff on folks all throughout this city, and was caught doing it to many victims, right? And Kim Foxx came in and saw a Sergeant Watts, and she has exonerated over 135 people. Anybody that Sergeant Watts has arrested or his name behind, she has exonerated those folks because he has not been a police officer who he's not been a police officer who has held integrity, and he has planted so much on folks and lied on people and put them in jail that she letting all the people that he done arrested out, right? She undoing his wrongs. So she has exonerated more people than any state's attorney. She has changed the policies of how she prosecutes, right? But here's where she get the and then even though Jussie Smollett was one thing, she does that with some of everybody. So when you talk about Jussie Smollett, for example, they beat her up because she didn't want to focus on the nonviolent crime. She said, all right, he filed a false police report. Who cares? Give him some, you know what I'm saying? Give him some community service and get out of my face, pay a fine. Made him pay a fine, do some community service, get out of here. Because that's the type of state's attorney that she is. Anita Alvarez would have prosecuted every little case. You know, anybody that is of color, if you do anything, she's going to prosecute you. She's going to try to get time out of you, a felony to put on your background, etc. Kim understood that the system was already designed to be against us. And the fact that she walked in and has to be the state's attorney and care about that, she's in a tight position because she can't do both, right? She believes that she could do both, like care and not prosecute nonviolent offenses and not push hard on certain things, and be the state's attorney, which is to fight for the state against anybody that does a crime. So she's in the middle, and you can't technically be in the middle. Anita Alvarez was fully for the state. Yeah, anything that you did, I'm getting the money, I'm getting everything out you. So that's the type position that Kim is in, because she really cares for the people. And I really would have loved to see her in a different position that really could show her heart. But she's in a position that she's in a tight position. Another thing is fighting for police officers to be charged. She has charged many police officers, but she has not charged enough of them. Why? Is because the laws technically do not allow for her to charge these officers based on certain cases, based on the way that they're able to justify them, right? So when they able to say, I fear for my life, when they able to say, well, it looked like he was grabbing for a gun, any of those things, as a state's attorney, she has to look at the law and know that in front of a jury, he's going to win, you know? So it's really a tight position, because even officers she want to charge, they've already put forth policies, allow them to justify it. And then she knows that when she go in front of a jury with it, she going to lose. So she's in between a rock and a hard place because of the position and the system that she walked into. But best believe it is a total opposite of an Anita Alvarez. And y'all gonna see, mark my words, Marty, mark my words, Crime Chaser, y'all gonna see when Kim Foxx is out of office this term and y'all get a tough on crime state's attorney, y'all are going to see a change in how state's attorneys treat Black folks. They're going to see it. They are going to see it. Trust and believe. A lot of folks out there, they believe that she's the state's attorney and that they got a case that's close to them and she's not able to charge because of whatever legal reason. They're mad at her. So she's in between a rock and a hard place. Even if she wants to charge Crime Chaser and she can't charge, whoever wants her to charge is going to be mad at her because she's in control of every case in the state. So it's in between a rock and a hard place. You know what I'm saying? So I feel for her because I know what she go through. I've looked at the laws and understand how they justify these cases and how they can't charge in these cases. And it goes all the way from the FOP contract. See, we talk about the state's attorney. We all talk about police. You talk about the FOP contract, the laws that they put in place to protect police officers. And those laws help before they get to the state's attorney. Even if they can get away with it as a police officer level, don't mean that they could be charged because of the laws that they put in place in the contract. You know what I'm saying? So the contract said they could do this. The police officer policy said they could do this. So even if we discipline them as a police officer, don't mean that they could be charged for it. So it's just a really tight position for her to be in. And I really, really feel for her. But I've seen her work. She has not moved more felonies on black people than any state's attorney, Martin. That is the fact. When you look at her run as state's attorney compared to Anita Alvarez, you will see that the felonies that she has given out is the least amount that any state's attorney has ever given to black folks, because she knew that throwing a felony on everybody for everything was not going to get us out the situation. We have to understand that Kim Foxx cannot solve the cannot solve the community ills. She is not the person that's going to solve crime. She's not the person that's going to solve police brutality. She's not the person that's going to do none of those things. She is the end of the road. And the problem is they hold her accountable for things that she has no control over. Oh, Kim Foxx is the reason why we got violence. I'm all the way at the end of the road. I don't have nothing to do with the city. And at the end of the day, if you bring me a murderer, I'm going to charge. But the fact is, the police officers not bringing murderers. They bringing nonviolent. They ain't bringing police officers are not solving cases, and that hasn't been happening in CPD for many years. So you blaming her state's attorney, but they have to bring her a murderer for her to charge. If they don't bring her a murderer, then she can't charge because they're not in her hands. So we just really have to understand the system and how it works to really, you know what I'm saying, to really understand her position. But I will say she holds the most integrity of any politician I've seen in this state, and the only politician I hold in high regard in this state, from the mayor, governor on down, is Kim Foxx, because she really has a heart and really wants to do good for black folks. And black folks are being programmed to be against her in a position where Kim Foxx will now have to be in a position where she's like, this is ridiculous. I'm trying to do so much to let black folks out. I'm letting black folks out of jail. I'm exonerating them. I'm charging murders. I'm lowering, increasing the retail theft value so that black folks ain't getting charged with felonies for stealing food. Like I'm doing everything that I can as state's attorney, but I'm in between a rock and a hard place, and the media is fooling black folks to make them believe that I ain't no good. And that's just, it's terrible. You know, she ain't no politician. And I'll leave you with this, Crime Chaser. How many times do you see Kim Foxx do a press conference a month? How many times? Yeah, you ever see Kim Foxx do a press conference?
No, I have seen it, but it's rare.
Very rare.
You don't really do it. Very rare.
I'll tell you why. Kim Foxx is not a politician. She's not a politician. She is not in to serve herself. She is not in to look for a different position. She is not in to raise her profile. Kim Foxx barely is on camera. Why? It's because she is really in that position to do what she feels in her heart to do and get out of the way. You have to respect that. Lori Lightfoot on TV two, 3, 4 times a day. Kim Foxx get beat up by everybody, and she still won't go on camera. She still won't go on camera. That is a person that is not there to elevate their political personality. She ain't out there saying nothing. She in her office doing her work. And you gotta respect that, because every other politician is in front of that camera several times a day. Y'all just gotta look at everything in totality. But you know, I'll leave y'all with that.
All right, man. You took over my life, man. All right. Hey, I'll call you later.
All right, guys.
All right, Jay. All right. I got this brother online. Brother Derek, I think it's that brother. Brother Derek, hello? Hello, brother? Come on, brother. I still got you on hold. Come on, talk to me. All right, come on, talk to us, Derek. Come and talk.
Fox all the way, man. And it's like, to be honest, like I'm in a situation right now with Shell. You know, like mentally, I was in a, you know, I did some things. I ain't gonna say did some things. You know, I had something I should never have. You know, but mentally, you know. But when I talked about it and I expressed myself in court, yeah, like because of Kim Foxx, like I'm at home right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pro Kim Foxx because I know for a fact Anita Alvarez, she was with Rahm Emanuel, Anita Alvarez, and I forgot the police superintendent at the time, but they won the shit together. And you know what I'm saying? And it was like, okay, if Rahm make the laws, and then you got the superintendent, you know what I'm saying, to get the people, lock them up, we're going to flood the police with the black neighborhood. That's when they started doing, they had all these trucks out. You know, they just switched the police in. I forgot McCarthy. That's exactly what his name was. McCarthy, whatever that was his name. But it was him, Anita Alvarez, and Rahm Emanuel. They were working together to try to make their name look good. You know, and that's what they was doing. You know, Anita Alvarez, no, I would never vote for that lady. You know, and this something, I hate to sound racist or anything like that, but when it comes to politics and certain things, Hispanic, they're going to sell out a black person for the better good of themselves. It just, I don't, you know, like I said, I ain't trying to be spiteful. I'm not trying to sound hateful. I hope I'm not offending the Hispanics, if they all don't like that. But, like, when you go to work, certain things that you notice that Hispanics will do to African American to bring them down. You know what I'm saying? The veterans, especially when they outnumber us. Like when you go, you know, it's just whatever. You know, but we're talking about politics right now. But yeah, Foxx, like that's a great woman, and that's a real black woman. That's like the last of the Mohicans. She's standing up for the black man. She don't want to see the black man in jail. She don't want to see these kids without dads. You know what I'm saying? And she really knows what's going on. She see how it's affecting the black community. You know what I'm saying? And people try to portray it as if she's doing a bad thing, but this is what goes on in our community. You know, this is what goes on in our community. That's like how they're trying to make Lori Lightfoot look bad. They put Lori Lightfoot up there as a face, like, okay, everybody, like when she was running, oh, we got a black man, but you gotta understand like what's around Miss Lightfoot. You gotta understand who her wife is. You know, and where her wife come from. And these things like Jamal said, like he just blew my damn mind. Jamal was just speaking so many facts, man. But you really gotta understand what's really going on. And Anita Alvarez, it's like she was a puppet. You know, it's like when you give certain people certain things for a little bit of clout and you can put it back in their community, they're gonna do it. They're gonna roll with it. They're gonna okay, yeah. Okay, you're not gonna hit us with the hard punches, you're only gonna hit them with the hard punches, and that's what was going on. You can even look and tell in the community. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like, man, to be honest, it's a race war going on in Chicago right now. Mm-hmm. You know?
It's been one going on. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's with politics, it's with jobs, with the schools, everything. It's like, African Americans, we just want what's right. We don't look at certain things when we speak about things about our race, it's because what we went through. And it's like certain people, they see certain things like, oh, well, us too, or they feel left out. And it's like no, we speaking for y'all too, but this is what we've been through. So y'all want to go through it. Like all these foreigners that come to the country, it's like they got their rights. Like you got the Asian hate crime and all these hate crimes. They come from us because they hated us so much, and it's like it hurts so bad. And we were traumatized from it. It's like right now, like we all here talking about the justice system. We all know the justice system fucked up. Why you know what I'm saying? Like we all talking about the justice system. It's messed up. And then you got some people, they come in after we done got carved niggas. We've been enslaved. We done got hung from trees. We done got carved niggas. We done got, cribs getting raided. They tore down the projects. We really suffer from that. You know what I'm saying? Like when blacks are at their peace, that's what everybody sees like happy, full potential. It's like, no, you know what? Them N-words, they get too happy. Let's tear down the projects. Oh, let's lock them up. Let's make new laws. We got to get some new politicians in. Kim Foxx is doing a damn good job. I don't care what nobody says.
Okay, bro. Let me take the next call. Thank you, bro. All right. Thank you. All right. Live uncut, unedited. You on live.
How you doing?
Good. Where you calling from first?
I am calling from the Wild Hundreds, Roseland, baby.
Wild Hundreds in the house. Okay, talk to me.
I just want to address some of the comments that are being made on your live. First of all, thank you for the dialect, because I do think that a lot of Black people need to be educated on the difference between Kim Foxx and Anita Alvarez. Mm-hmm. First of all, the people need to listen to what Jamal Green and the other a couple of callers have said about what exactly it is that Kim Foxx is doing in the state's attorney's office. The other thing I want to address is we as a people need to stop blaming things for some of the things that we can control. For some strange reason, our people like to dabble in willful ignorance. Okay? There is a such thing as white supremacy, we know. There is a such thing as systematic racism. And unfortunately for us, that's going to be a forever fight. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we as a people we can't fight white supremacy when I see some of the comments being made on the live, and it's like, okay, do you all really understand what you're saying? You know, I saw a comment where a young man was saying, holding Kim Foxx responsible for Jason Van Dyke being let out. He's in federal lockup. What the hell does he have to do with federal lockup? So some of the comments are speaking to what you said a couple of minutes ago about Black people being ignorant of the law. Some of those comments on your live is reflecting that. We have to get out of being willfully ignorant. I'm sorry, but we have to get out of it. In order for us to white supremacy, we also need to get our people on one accord. Now, 100% of us are not going to go. That's just what it is. But those of us who want to see us win in this long fight, you know, we have to get our people on one accord. I am one that does believe, and I'm a single mother, I am one that does believe that we need to start holding some of these parents accountable. In addition to the parents, some of these families accountable. Because there's a difference between a single mother that's working and she may need some help in, you know, someone looking after her children, or a single parent that may just need help on how to help their troubled child, versus a parent that in some cases is knowingly dabbling in ignorance, showing their children what the hell they shouldn't be doing. You'd be surprised what you find in some of these households with these parents. You know, and we as Black people, we need to stop sugarcoating and tap dancing around that. We can't keep talking about what the system is not doing when we don't trust them in the first place. Unfortunately, some of this stuff we're going to have to do on our own. And I know that's a task that a lot of us don't want to deal with, but it's going to come to that. If we don't trust the police, then why do we expect them to help us when things are going wrong with us? That makes no sense to me. So we need to find a better way to help us. You know, we have $1 trillion spending power in this economy called the U.S. $1 trillion spending power. That's an economy within itself. So we can't tell each other what we can't do. We need to stop saying that. We can't do this on our own. Yes, we can. We can. But it has to start somewhere with us supporting the right people. And sometimes we don't seemingly want to do that. We'd rather listen to the ventriloquists of white supremacy. We'd rather listen to them than what our people are trying to tell us. You know, and we really have to get out of that. Otherwise, this cycle is just going to continue. So the talking points is we need to support Kim Foxx and stop being ventriloquists for white supremacy, because the bottom line is there are a lot of white folks mad at her because she's there, because she's not, you know, taking crap off of these officers like previous state's attorneys have done. And more importantly, we need to start supporting outcomes or programs that are already here. I'm not talking about the programs that we need. We need to start supporting some of the programs that are already here. Okay? To help us advance and to get us where we need to be, and pull resources together to help fund things like community centers and that nature. And the last thing I want to say before I let you go is we need to find like-minded people to vote them in to get rid of these trash-ass aldermen who are in here. They should have been voted out when they voted on that video, when they saw that video and voted for the city to pay Laquan McDonald's family. We should have voted those aldermen out then. These local elections, we need to start getting involved in them. If we want to see change, we have to be proactive in getting shit done for ourselves. And that's all I have to say. And thank you for allowing me to speak.
No problem. Okay, P. Ray, I got one more before you, and then you can come on in. Got one more before you. Got one more before you. You call it. It's live on Cut and Edit.
Hey, Mark.
You live on Cut and Edit, brother Bobby. Come on with it.
Hey, man, I can't say too much because my wife beat me to the line. That was my wife called in.
What? All right.
My wife, she called in. You know,
I know. No. Don't worry about it. You got to reveal her status out here. Yeah. Yeah. Right.
She spent it down. And hey, between her and Jamal and that first brother,
right.
That's it, man. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. Okay. So we can get off of that. They can get off of that Kim Foxx chopping cases and all that other nonsense. Okay, because they didn't care for Kim Foxx from day one. And they still won't care for Kim Foxx. Now they want to get up on that bag and get that Jesse Smollett stuff nonsense, okay? And we know that shit. We ain't got no. Hey, that ain't our problem, okay? That ain't our problem. They want to know how to do it. Now look, they just look what they do. That special guy in there, okay? Had him retry to bring Smollett back up again and bring some nonsense in there, but that ain't had nothing to do with us, man. They ain't got nothing to do with us, okay? We know what the deal is, okay? So I mean, hey, we can get up off there trying to throw Kim Foxx up under the bus. Hey, man, we know what the deal is, okay? And I'll say, my wife beat me to it, man. Great show, man.
Thank you so much.
My wife beat me to the phone, and hey, she didn't give a name, but she there every day, man, in that county system, and she know how it operates. She was the judges, the state's attorneys, prosecutors. She did it right there in their faces every day. Okay, so hey, man, hey, like I said again, great show. She said she want to meet you too. I told her.
Oh yeah, okay. You tell her I love to meet her. Yeah.
It's a hell of a show, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Bobby. I'm trying to do it, man. Live or cut. They keep trying to make me chase this crime. I'm trying to chase some other things too, with the crime.
But I'm glad. Hey, if they don't realize what Anita Alvarez did all those years, okay? All the way up to that doggone Jason Van Dyke situation. If they don't realize it, it's just like Jamal said. Just wait. You get out of there, you're gonna wish you had a back in there. Okay? So they want to go back to the good old boys thing. Lock them up, throw away the key, and that's all of us. They don't care about none of us.
Yeah.
They want us all locked up if it's down up to them. And we jumping on their bandwagon. That's what's killing me. We jumping right on their bandwagon with them. You know, we don't want to get the facts, research the situation, and get some knowledge on the judicial system. We want to just jump on what they say, okay? And what Trump say that doggone news media, that fake news media system.
Yeah, fake news.
Okay?
Yep.
Yeah, we want to jump on the fake news system. We listen to everything they tell us, because they tell us the truth. Okay, but hey, man, we better start. We gotta wake up and use our minds and make our own decisions, man. Forget about Fox. Make our own decisions, cause we all we got, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
Well, listen, Mike. Thanks again, man.
All right, no problem. All right.
All right.
P. Ray, you next. P. Ray, they dropped the bomb on us, girl. You better come with something strong, cause they dropped the bomb on us out here. You better come with some good facts with this one, cause we had some people on here.
Hello?
You better drop some facts, cause we had some good. I know. I tried. I made sure your show was over before I started mine. So, but go ahead, talk to us. Talk to us. Yeah, go ahead.
So, I'm gonna give y'all some facts.
Okay, come on with it.
So, one, as you know, I host Black Excellence on WVON.
WVON, that's on. Okay.
WVON 1690 AM.
Okay.
So when I did a show initially about Adam Hollingsworth, who was the Dreamhead Cowboy, I talked about him 2 weeks ago. And I was talking about how Kim Foxx's office pled him to a felony for taking that horse on the expressway. There's nothing wrong with the horse. The horse is not injured. The horse is not crying. The horse is living on the farm doing its thing. The Chicago Police Department hit the horse. And that's how the horse got injured. But they, really bullied him in a way. And anyway, we talked about this today on the show.
Hold on. You said Chicago police did what?
The Chicago Police Department hit the horse with their squad car. He has the video.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, I all that to say, he ended up pleading guilty so he can get out of jail because it was just a lot of mess. But I said that to say, after I initially announced it, a lady called me and she said, I want to tell you my story about Kim Foxx. And I'm like, okay, this woman, Martin, and everybody who was listening to me, this woman who contacted me was shot 17 times, okay, by her neighbor. She sent me the pictures of her body. She sent me the pictures of her car. She sent me the pictures of her blood. She sent me the pictures of her at the hospital, at the rehab, everything. The man who shot her, she know who did it, okay, this her neighbor. She didn't call the police, everything, no charges have been brought to this day. This lady going to rehab every day. Another example, they caught a man downtown stealing catalytic converters. He had somebody caught up in the air, and he already had a catalytic, whatever they call it, in his pocket, and the police caught him with the saw in his hand, and these people caught jacked up and one in his pocket. So they go ahead, take him, give Kim Foxx. What they do, the prosecutor's office refused to press felony charges on him. And it's on the CWB Chicago Facebook page. I'm not making this up. Every day, CWB Chicago posts different instances where the Cook County State's Attorney and the Cook County judges are, one, allowing very violent criminals to plead to misdemeanors. And the reason that they plead people out is because the people who work in the prosecutor's office have to keep their win rate very high. So if I win, let's say I win 90% of my cases, then I can quit working at the state's attorney and I can go to private practice, and now it looks like I win all these cases. And the way that I win my cases is I plead people out. So instead of me charging you with second-degree murder, I charge you with aggravated battery because that's the lowest threshold of proof. And then I'm going to get that win, and then that violent criminal who committed that murder is back on the streets because of the plea. Or another example, another woman called me. She's the woman who solved her son's murder. I think you might have had her on here. So she's out in the south suburbs. Her son is 19, a 35-year-old man shot and killed him, whatever the circumstance is. They took that boy's body out the basement. They moved it to Riverdale. Then they got a U-Haul, put the body in a U-Haul, moved it to Riverdale, then moved it to Harvey and set the body on fire. So the woman had to go and do her own investigation and everything to solve her son's murder, and this guy is now in jail. The reason I mention that story is because that man had killed 3 people and shot a little boy multiple times. The mama, her 2 friends, and then shot her son up. So now the boy like 13 years old. So he could have theoretically walked into the man that he saw shoot him and his mama, because the Cook County State's Attorney in 2018 did not properly prosecute that case. So when people talk about, I'm not with Kim Foxx, it ain't no emotions. It ain't about trying to line up with white people. It's because our neighborhoods are unsafe. And it's a whole bunch of criminals roaming around here because they
P. Ray, let me stop you for a minute. How old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay, I'm 53. Listen, let me just tell you something. It has been worse for black people. I came through the 80s. I came through the 90s where the crack epidemic came. I came through the mass incarceration. I was here when, matter of fact, I was in the county when they had overcrowded, 12,000, 10,000 people in there. So I came through a lot. And these problems was here before Kim Foxx came, and not making no excuse. And a lot of, hold on. Now, on the Bird that superintendent, whatever he was, we paid out over $500 million in police settlement for that brother, for him. So this crookedness, it didn't just start at Kim Foxx, trust me. Kim Foxx inherited this thing here. So all the, yeah.
I swear to God, I get that.
Yeah.
We know there's always been this level of corruption, but what I'm saying is we cannot excuse the fact that the Cook County State's Attorney is pleading violent criminals out. If you go to the CWB Chicago Facebook page, and every day they write about it, like in detail, and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. It's not about the police being corrupt. We know CPB and FOP got all their issues. But I give you another example. When they had the shootout over here by the house on Mason and Division, they went to some people's house and shot their house 70 times. Do you hear? On a sunny Friday morning. So when they shot their house 70 times, instead of those, so when the boys shot, it was 2 cars, 4 boys out there, 2 boys in each car. One of the boys got hit They threw his dead body into the street. Everybody drove down Austin Boulevard towards the expressway. But on the other side of Austin is Oak Park. So the Oak Park police was chasing them down Austin. They crashed into a lady, hurt her real bad. The police pulled them out the car, found guns, found drugs, found everything. And they were in a stolen car. Kim Foxx's office did not charge them for any of those Oak Park crimes. Nor did they charge them for that shootout because they called it mutual combat. So imagine.
But I mean, that's if hold on, let me say this. If hold on, that's the law. Kim Foxx didn't write the law. Listen, do you know, P. Ray, that Illinois is the #1 false confession state? I'm telling you this before. Listen. So many black brothers, and I'm gonna say this, have been locked up for small petty crimes and had a bail of $20,000, $25,000. Know what they did? They plead for a felony so they pleaded guilty so they can come home. Because you know they found where they gonna get that type of money at. I'm telling you, this thing has been inherited. Everybody is not going to get the proper justice. Only people that's mad at Kim Foxx is the white racists, the police people. I'm telling you, and the victims that didn't get no justice. I know.
Let me tell you, black woman that live on the west side.
Right.
You understand? I know suburban woman.
Right.
I'm living in the middle of Austin. And what I'm saying is, we know for a fact that people are getting cleared. Very, very violent people, Martin. Imagine something happened to one of your relatives. They see
it just did. It just did.
How they come and hurt you.
Listen, it just did. My nephew, killer, just got out. They charged him with an unlawful use of a weapon. But I tell you that, you know why? Because the witnesses that testified against him were initially talked to the office. They recanted their statement. They backed up. They can't find him. So they couldn't charge with murder. So they decided, hey, we'll just get him with this. But you know murder don't have no statute of limitations. Now listen, how things are done in the state's attorney office, they need concrete evidence. It's no more just taking the police officer word. You got to have witnesses, and they got to do their groundwork. Why you think the superintendent just promoted or got 200 detectives to investigate these crimes? Because it's overwhelming. You can't come in the state's attorney office and say, hey, we know Martin Johnson shot this person. You need proof. You need witnesses. That's where they got to bring it. Yeah.
They pulled out a stolen car, had the bullets, had the cases, had the drugs in a stolen car. Oak Park police filed all the charges with Kim Foxx. Didn't nobody get charged?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It happened. It happens.
They ran away from a shootout that was captured on the Chicago City camera.
It happens. It happens. Well, what about all them black men? What about all them black men that got tortured under Mayor Daley and all that? You know what I'm saying? And we had to pay the taxpayers. Yeah. Right.
Not torture people.
Right.
So we can also have a system that properly gives justice to victims.
Right. What?
I think, like I told you before, our main problem in black people in Chicago, is that we victimize villains. We victimize villains. We can talk about everything that villain did, everything that criminal did, everything in his background, what made him do this, whatever. Now we feel sorry for him, and ain't nobody studying the victim. If we want to get ourselves together, again, we got to give ourselves more grace. We got to give our victim people more grace. Everything is not about, I mean, yes, being a racist society, yes, we are, but everything ain't racist trick of the man.
Well, let me just say this. Let me say this. Black people never had a fair shake in the law. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, now, according to Chief Judge Timothy Evans, he said that 10% of the people that's reoffenders on house arrest, that's who the media focus on. But they don't focus on the 90% that's in compliance. They don't focus on that. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's what the chief judge said, not me. I didn't write that. That's what he said. That's all I'm saying. So it's like a balance. Some people are going to escape the system. They're going to get away with murder. You know? Yeah.
They caught a man downtown at the Burberry store last week. He had on 2 house arrest bands down there stealing sunglasses.
That's part of, hey, he part of 10%. But that's what, listen, everybody, listen.
Let me check it out. And they changed the law that now if you on the ban and you leave the house for less than 48 hours, that's a misdemeanor. That's no longer a felony.
Right.
If you gone out the house for 47 hours, you good.
But P. Ray, listen, we can't keep putting felonies on people. It's gonna keep the site. Listen, Mass incarceration has, hold on. Mass incarceration has already proved that it don't work. It don't work, sister. I come from the crack epidemic. It didn't work. Look at we still facing right now. It don't work. It don't work. We got to come up with some other alternative. And guess what? Guess who the war is against? It's against black and brown. That's who the war is against. People are felons.
Wait, guess who the victims are?
Yeah.
Black and brown.
Yes.
So
yeah.
When we talk about all of this, we got to again look at the victims, even the people who went to jail in the 90s under crack, the crack dealers, okay? If we just look at the crack dealers and we think about how our communities were negatively affected by crack cocaine, then on a very loving level in my heart, I feel like the people who devastated my community and my family should be in jail. Under any circumstance, that means if you robbed us, if you sold us poison, if you shot my people up, any type of harm that you brought to us, is up to the government to take care of that. That is why we pay taxes. That's why we believe in this system. And if this
who believe in this system? Black people.
We gotta change.
You know, black people don't believe in this system. The system ain't never been fair to black people. You know that. Come on now, P-Ray. Come on now. Come on now.
At the same time, we don't deserve to be terrorized by criminals
but,
not being properly punished.
Listen.
Our issues that the laws are not being. There are issues for real. Again, it's one, we giving way too much sympathy to criminals and not enough to our victims. People don't want to testify because they no protection. People, I say if I do say something, if I do go there, they gonna flee, so he's gonna get out anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like no trust in the system because people not going to jail. Even now with the kids doing carjacking, the reason they carjacking is because they know they're not going to jail. That's why Lori had to bring the feds so that now they can catch fed cases and go to jail for real because it wasn't happening in the Cook County State's Attorney.
Okay, well, but guess what? Okay, now guess what? Did you know back in last year sometime, I think your governor, well, the Democratic governor, they had a program out where you couldn't charge a juvenile for something. They came out with a juvenile thing. I need to pull it up real quick because I was reading it earlier today. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. I was just browsing through the internet and I said, okay, I'm going to pull it up a little bit. You can go ahead and talk about, pull that up. Yeah.
I mean, even with that, we can have these programs.
Right.
We always want to have programs and things to deter people from committing.
Okay, but where are the programs? One lady got them.
Listen. Yes, we can have. Wait, you said what programs? They should spend $250 million of taxpayer money on anti-violence campaigns. We put over $1 billion in anti-violence campaigns here in the state of Illinois. So, however these organizations are rolling out their programs, whatever results we get or not getting, we know the taxpayers have consistently been funding that line item. But that's not the problem here. The main problem is once people get caught, once people get told on, once people get hurt, once people get injured, once people die, the Cook County prosecutor has to prosecute those people to the fullest extent of the law, just like they do in Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
If you mess up in Indiana, you're going to jail, okay? You mess up in Mississippi, you're going to jail. Louisiana, jail. But up here in Chicago, people know you can, get your lick back and get away with it. If I come and shoot at you and you shoot back at me, that's mutual combat. We're going home.
Okay. All right. Well, I had one gentleman came up there that he was in a private practice under lawyer. Then I had another person, a female, she came on, said she working in office and she see all the corruptions. Yeah. Now, what I was talking about with Priscilla, they say Priscilla unveiled a plan to transform the juvenile justice in Illinois by closing large facilities. That's what I was reading earlier today. I read into that. So that was in July of 2020. July. Yeah. So my thing is, I understand, but P-Ray, you can't have that lock them up and throw it away keep mentality. That's not you. That's what it sounds like, sister.
If you out there doing crime chasing and somebody come and put a gun in your face and pull you out your crime chasing car, guess what? You're gonna want them to go to jail.
Yes. I tell you one thing. To P-Ray, hold on. Let me say something. Right. Let me say something. October the 1st, 1995. I don't know how old was you at that time. I got carjacked. I got carjacked on Vince Sands, 69th and Vince Sands. Trust me, nobody never called. It was two guys. One guy on the driver's side, I seen his gun. Then when I got out, I seen another guy on the passenger side. I didn't know it was two. I seen one, but I'm just telling you, These things, we've been suffering in these communities with carjacking, violence.
Did we just accept it?
No, we don't just accept that. Not at all. Something has to be done. I'm a victim. Trust me, I'm a victim. You know, I do crime all the time. That's why I move the way I move. You can never predict me when I show up to a crime scene. You don't know where I'm gonna show up. So just thinking, we can't lock everybody up, P-Ray. We can't lock everybody up.
We don't want everybody
right.
locked up.
Well, who we want locked up?
People just putting guns in people's faces and taking their cars. You're going to jail. If you shoot at people, you are going to jail. If you shoot somebody, you are going to jail. If they catch you selling illicit, hard drugs that are poisoning our communities and making people pipes and steal from us and bring down our property value, you going to jail. If you out here stabbing people, you going to jail. You find your baby mama, you going to jail. You understand? Like, we have to really punish people. That's how we get our standards back in the society.
Really? Well, we tried that.
Wait. You asked me a question. You made so many, we as a people have made so many excuses for the criminals that we have started to sympathize with criminality. And now we just say, oh, well, this is how it is. This is how it goes. Because we understand why he did X, Y, Z. No, it's not how it goes. Because as that victim, they don't deserve to be harmed. Nobody deserves to be harmed in any society. And we're not going to fix that until people have a deterrent from that. And the way that you do that is by punishing them.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, sister. How many black men, you smart, intelligent, that's locked up in the United States? Just black men only. I ain't talking about brown. I'm talking about black men.
Maybe 3 million.
Okay. Has that solved any problems yet? Crime still happening?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So that what they tell you, that it's not working. It's not. Hold on. Let me say something. Let me just say this. In the conscious community, this is what we say. If you continue to do the same thing and want different results, that's insanity. So we have to find another way to do things. Not saying that completely throw away everything that we've been doing, but it's just not working. Why is it these problems? Let's get to the root core. Why is these problems? You got these discriminatory laws. You done lock brothers up for years in penitentiary for selling drugs. Now y'all selling weed. People that literally tried to feed their family. Not making no excuse for it. I sold drugs for 5 years of my life. But thank God I never got a conviction. I got arrested for them, but never got a conviction. Now around here goes the government. They the biggest drug dealers now. You know what I'm saying? Come on. It's just
all of that. Now listen, I'm telling you, all of that is true. Listen, all of that is true. But what I'm saying is, as a society, as we begin to victimize, like I'll give you an example. We shorties over here on the west side, right?
Right.
We know that they down there selling they crack. So we know if the DT cars come here, remember they used to drive the little Fords, the little round Fords?
Yeah.
So when they
Bubbles.
coming down the street, the bubbles, right? The bubble shacks, yeah. So when they coming down the street, we might be out there playing rope, but they throwing the ball, but everybody know when we see them, we supposed to go, Friday! Because we trying to warn them that the police are to stop them from committing the crime of selling drugs in our community and making people crackheads.
But
you know what I'm saying? But because because we felt love for them in our hearts, we helped them in that way. Or even your drug dealing cousin that you know sell drugs, that you know shoot at people, that you know harm people. You don't look at him as a bad person because they're show kin people. Or even how we lift these gang members up. I ain't gonna talk about our own. I'll talk about Cookie Stokes out west with the Bloods in California. So we know what the Bloods do. We know that they gang and what they do. So when it was time for him to be executed, Schwarzenegger was governor of California. They like, don't execute Cookie. You know, he changed his life. You know, Rotterdam, let him out. He can help the people. And Arnold was like, no. Do you know how many people this man that hurt, how many communities he harmed, what they've done to Oakland, what they've done to Watt? Why would we want to let that out? And I said, you know what? Now that you put it like that, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're right. And it made me think about everything.
Well, hold on. Well, hold on. Let me say something. Hold on. Stop it right there. I'm glad you said that. I'm going to use the same analogy. What about all these white folks did to our ancestors and all that? But we continue to trust them. We forgave them. We believe in what they're trying to do. What about these white folks? Hold on. What about all these white folks that's putting guns in the black community? Guns are not made on the south and the west side. Where are these young? Hold on. hold on. Because you can't shoot nobody if you ain't got no gun. Now, come on now. These little young thugs, I call them gunslingers, gundoleros in Jamaican style. They out here. These guns are coming from some source. These boys ain't got no. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So in 2014, Barack Obama and Eric Holder did an operation called Fast and Furious. What they did was they took 2,000 guns, they trafficked them down to Mexico from the United States to trace how the guns get trafficked. Well, they lost all the guns. So then one of the guns ended up killing a U.S. Border Patrol agent. Now, the reason I bring that up is because last week, Mexico just put out indictments against El Chapo and the national security leader because their national security of Mexico took all the guns Barack Obama gave them to the cartel. And guess where the cartel is at? Over here on the west side of Chicago. So we can logically come to the conclusion that the guns they sent to Mexico over here shooting our people. So they coming from everywhere. The issue ain't the guns. It's not the guns. It's not the drugs. It's not none of that. It is a way, a standard that we as our people gotta accept ourselves. If you got people in your family out here selling drugs, shooting at people, carjacking, whatever, that's not that guy, you used to know. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
15 doing that, you got to get him up out of here. You can't make no excuses for your baby. The more you make excuses for your baby, the more it makes the whole space violent. Because your baby putting out violence, now somebody else baby gonna respond. Then somebody else baby gonna respond. Then somebody else baby gonna respond. No, we're not doing that no more. You know, like really, you gotta have some level of accountability.
Okay, so what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do as black people? We got almost 3 million people locked up in the United States. Blacks. Okay, we're gonna continue to throw another million in jail. Another million, and some, don't get me wrong, some deserve to be there. You know, some deserve to be there. So I'm just saying, we got to find some more solutions, P-Ray. That's all I'm saying for our people. We got to find some solutions. Then you got, look at this. Let me say this, then I'll let you talk. You got black men that got felons. Petty, I call them small little fellas. They could never get a government job. They could never get financial aid. Someplace they could never get low-income housing or subsidized housing. I mean, what do you expect them to do? Just they're going right back to the community where they got a felon from and go right back and do the same thing. Trust me, crime is $1 billion. Yeah, hold on. But crime is $1 billion industry. If crime stops and slow down 45%, you know how many people will be out of work? Trust me, we already not working as blacks. Not no high level jobs anyway. But go ahead. I'm gonna give you the last word, and I'm gonna close out. Yeah. Okay.
We know all of that stuff is true. All of that stuff is 100%
true.
We know that the police who started in this country as slave catchers. We know that the 13th Amendment did not end slavery. It expanded slavery so that more than black people could be slaves. Because the 13th Amendment say that everybody is free except for prisoners. So anybody of any race could be a prisoner. Now you expanded slavery. So we know all of it, right? All of that is true. We need more programs. We need more interventions. We need more everything, okay?
Yes.
The most tangible thing that we can do now in the meantime, in between time, is to participate the right way in these upcoming elections. We got 2022, which is state. I think that's state. 2023, which is city. 2024, which is local. In that time, if you're not happy with how you see Chicago right now, it is your chance. You have the power to change it, because we see that the leadership that we have on every level, not just Kim, Kim Foxx, ain't nobody working. Ain't nobody working, straight up. So now that we see ain't nobody working, but we still paying for a service, you got to let them go. Make another choice. If you don't want to vote Republican, fine. It's going to be more than one person on the ballot. But do not, in your good conscience, if you're not happy with what you got, vote for anybody to go back in there to hurt your feelings again. That's an abusive relationship.
Okay. Thank you, P-Ray. I'm in it right here. I've been on here 2 hours. Thank you so much for coming on in. We'll talk. Thank you so much. You know I love you now. You know it. So, all right. All right. Listen, y'all. That's P-Ray from Black Excellence Hour. She come on at Sunday, WBON. That's 1690, right?
1690 AM now, and I'm live on the WBON Facebook page. If you want to catch the playback from tonight's show, I was live with the Dreadhead Cowboy. We talked about this case, what happened with it, and how we are going to move forward with Kid Lives Matters. We trying to get a barn in the city because he says too many kids focused on being famous. So they either want to be a basketball player or a rapper. But he tell the kids, look, he's famous and he's a cowboy. So come on, come learn these horses, come learn how to ride, come learn more nature stuff. And those are other ways that you can attract attention to you too. So that's going to be our anti-violence strategy. We're looking for people to come help us out. Kids Lives Matter. We want to build a barn so we can teach the kids how to ride and, channel their feelings and aggression in a different way.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, P. Ray. Thank you.
All right,
they keep calling me, y'all. I can't take no more calls. That's it. This is live, uncut, unedited. Thank you, guys. Thank you. As I always say, you don't have to agree with Martin Johnson, as long as we respect each other and talk to each other like adults. I mean, you all good with me. Y'all know my block game is super strong. I'm always blocking the trolls, always blocking them. So I want to thank every last one that came on here today. Even if I didn't agree with you, I'll thank you for having the guts to come on here and to say your piece or say your truth. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Peace out, people. Live, uncut, unedited. Share this video. Share this video. Thank you.